Well, today I wanted to go ahead and talk about the collapse of ARK Survival Evolved PvP and with Ascended PvP. If you don't know, over the last couple of years, especially whenever Ascended launched, PvP is not the same at all anymore. They changed the entire system, got rid of hatch frames, allowed turrets to be built on walls and all this. And while some may argue that that's a good thing, well, the polls and statistics and Reddits and everything about all this stuff kind of says otherwise. So I did a couple polls the other day. This one was from 24 hours ago, and this one was from 11 hours ago. The first one being, what mode do you play on ARK? I did this a couple years ago, and as you can see, 58% of people play PvP, while 42% of people are playing PvE. So I did a poll a couple years ago. I'm gonna have to go find it. If I can, it'll be on screen. If not, it probably got deleted or something. But the poll was like 70 to 80% PvP, and now it's at 58% PvP. So yeah, not doing the best right here. So PvP is collapsing a good chunk. In fact, we have a lot of comments in here that are also kind of going over, issues and stuff. But I don't know. There's a lot I wanted to just kind of go over. It's, it's not exactly just about this poll. It's just kind of some proof here that, PvP is starting to kind of die. And then I also put a thing that, how do you feel about the ARK collabs? 153 votes. This is only 11 hours ago. It'll update a little more. But 70%, almost 70% of people don't like these collabs. Again, this should tell you something. And, every single video that I've made talking about the collabs doesn't perform well at all either. Again, nobody cares about these collabs really. Like, you have some people, yes, like with the Power Rangers one, that incredibly made a lot of money. I was shocked with that one. It's just, I don't know. I feel like people are getting sick of it, and we're getting... I talked about this in the last video with the collab one, but I do want to talk about this again, and then we'll go over the PvP side of things. But I just feel like ARK is turning into a version of Black Ops 6. I know, very, very different games, don't get me wrong, but just stick with me. So Black Ops 6 has, a lot of collabs for skins, right? And Black Ops 6 is a realistic shooter game, and then you have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle in it, or you have, I don't know, a frog in it, or you have all these other just weird movies and game titles in Black Ops 6. So you're fighting these people. I'll put a video on screen of this. It's very confusing looking. It just doesn't look right to me. It looks very wrong, and I think ARK is going down the same path. ARK is a more realistic-ish type survival game. It's a hardcore, great looking game, and then you see a Power Rangers dino coming at you. It doesn't really, look the best, right? Looks a little bit off. It just kind of kills the vibe of what this game is. Now, yes, you can turn these off, but it still requires your computer to download these mods, even if you are not buying them. Yeah, fun fact, you guys probably didn't even know that. ARK has a system where it will auto-download these mods when you're close to them. So if your tribe member has it, your game will secretly download that in the background, and it adds more space onto your hard drive. Yes, it's probably not a lot of space, it's probably a couple megabytes, but that's not the point. It's filling up more and more, meaning that every new ARK update is going to take longer and longer and longer to update because it has to repatch that file and repatch this file. Kind of a bit of an issue. Okay, back on topic. I kind of went sidetracked there, but these are my two polls. I figured I'd just talk about them. And there's a good amount of comments for these polls. Again, Fortnite Survival Ascended. Oh yeah, okay, sorry. One more thing that I was going to cover. With Fortnite, it makes a little bit more sense because Fortnite is built around a Battle Royale style game. That I understand. That makes a little more sense. It looks better, and it's a cartoony looking game. So having the cartoony looking skins kind of looks decent with it. I've played Fortnite for a good chunk of years now. I stopped playing it about a year ago now, but I played it for many, many years, probably since about 2017, 2018. I played it right whenever that came out. I watched what happened with this game. Fortnite did a good job with it because it makes sense for their game. It's just these survival styled games or Black Ops 6, it doesn't sit right with me. I don't think a lot of people are happy with it either. I've been seeing a lot of comments about stuff like on social media or something, because I read as much comments as I possibly can just to kind of see how people are reacting, to see if I'm not the only one. And yeah, a little crazy. Now, the collapse of ARK is kind of not really sitting well with me, and if this is also kind of freaking you out, check out my sponsor, Mitra 9. Mitra 9 is a non-alcoholic supplement that quite literally makes you feel good. These drinks give you a high, but without the impairment. They have a ton of great flavors, my favorite being root beer. If you're looking for a new drink to replace your coffee in the morning, Mitra is the way to go. Simply go to mitra9.com and use my code OUTCAST for 25% off your entire order. Now, back to the video. Okay, back on topic though. So, I wanted to go ahead and cover the PvP side of things. I'll probably just have something playing in the background. I don't really know what to play. But basically, PvP is starting to die and PvE is starting to take over. Now, we've seen this with the ARK mods. ARK mods are dominating in downloads. But for PvE things, the PvP stuff isn't doing the best. And not to mention, there's no really good servers out there for PvP at all right now. They all flop. I've tried to put out servers. I know many people that have tried to put out servers. They are all flopping. And by flopping, I mean they do okay for the first couple weeks, but a PvP server cannot survive more than a month. This is a serious issue. Because PvP servers used to last 3 to 6 months and then they'd get wiped and they'd be slot capped almost until the end of the wipe. I mean, it was just insane. And you'd always have one big tribe that dominates, you know, usually always happens. Now that still does happen, but here's the issue. The population dies off in about a week or two. And I honestly don't entirely know why. I've played some of these. I mean, I understand what people are kind of saying. It's just, it doesn't really make sense. It's more of a grind now. People are getting frustrated with just how things are with the people, like the turret systems and how you build bases now. And that brings me to another thing, is that you can't live out in the open anymore. Not being able to live out in the open, like with, you know, Survival Evolved, which a lot of people did kind of push their way into caves over the years. It used to be out in the open, and then they had to push into caves and all that. They're building the same system where you have to build in these caves, but they're not revamping these caves to be better with Ascended's PvP style. So they're basically just copy and pasting these old caves and basically copy and pasting the maps, which, I mean, we figured that was going to happen, yes, but we kind of expected a little bit of something new, and there's nothing new with these caves. They're all the exact same layout. There's nothing new. We have a couple new caves, like with Valguera that just came out. Not horrible, but like with the Oil Cave, this is a good example. They're butchering these caves. They're making them worse. Like, Oil Cave used to have a very small entrance, and now it has this massive entrance that you can fit, I believe, a rock golem straight into. That's how big that is, just for reference. So you can no longer build out in the open at all, and I mean at all. Like, you will get ruined. Now, ARK tried to improve this with the tech bunker, but it's just pissing people off because you have to pay for it to even use the tech bunker, and I think that's just really messed up. Which brings us to another thing, which is these just transactions for every single thing in the game. The most frustrating thing you can possibly do is make everything cost money. To a brand new player to ARK, having to come in and seeing 10 different things that cost money, and you can't use these items unless you pay for this stuff, that's gonna make somebody quit. Simple as that. I understand if you have maps that are for sale, like what they did with, Evolved. Like, oh, Extinction was like $30 or something. Okay, that's cool. That's fine. That's a brand new DLC. Absolutely. But allowing the maps to be free, but then charging people to use the items in the map is a serious issue. This is why many other games have been failing, and we've seen it. There are so many different games that are just flopping, and I mean, $1 million budget games. Like, a good example was Concord. They spent $400 to $500 million on that game. I don't even know how you'd spend that much money, I'm gonna be honest. And the game completely flopped. Well, that was for a different reason. That's because they went woke. I'm not gonna cover politics though in this video, but you get what I'm meaning. A lot of these game companies do not understand what the player base needs or wants. And this is the issue why these games are failing. Another issue that I'll go ahead and cover with the PvP side of ARK is just issues with the weapon reload and hitboxes. If you don't know, they fixed a couple of them a little bit, but it still happens. Mostly on servers, doesn't really happen on single player. But when you're trying to, fight somebody and you have a shotgun or like a Fabby or a long neck, especially long necks, and you are out in public and you're trying to kill somebody, having a little battle, it's fun, right? Well, it's not fun when your weapon just decides to freeze up and not reload. I mean, that's probably one of the biggest issues that I notice with this, and it always gets me killed. Now, they could have intentionally done that, I don't know, but it hasn't been fixed since the release of Evolved, and it's a serious problem. And then you have a much bigger issue, which is hitboxes. You can literally be on top of a player and shoot them directly in the face, and it will not register. It will have a blood animation showing that it hit them, but it does not register. This is another serious problem. I really hope that the devs are watching this. I doubt that they will, at least until one of these videos goes viral. Then they might look at it. It's just, I don't understand how you guys have built this game over the last 10 years and you celebrate all this stuff, but you can't fix hitboxes? Or you can't fix weapon reload? It doesn't make sense. I mean, you add all this stuff into the game, you fix all these other problems, but you don't fix your main serious issues, which are hitboxes. And this is for both sides, by the way. This isn't really just PvP, it's PvE as well. Because this happens with dinos. Meaning if somebody wants to knock out a dino, and half the time it doesn't hit, it's gonna piss them off. It pisses me off. This is the biggest reason why I stopped playing PvP servers. And yeah, if you guys don't notice, I'm transitioning my videos more and more to PvE, because sadly PvP is dying horribly, and all of my PvP videos are not doing well. So I have to move over to PvE. It's like relearning the entire game all over again for me. It sounds crazy, but it's completely different for me because I focus on strictly PvP, and yeah, I can't really do that anymore. One of the biggest issues with official servers, and I have major proof of this, by the way, that this is still happening. I'm not putting the footage out for a while because I don't know, it's a really big problem right now, and I don't want to get into some issues with ARK. But it's the constant meshing and constant bugs. Meshing is a horrible issue that is still happening. They've tried to patch it, and they've done good on certain maps, like Aberration. When you go into the mesh, it teleports or kills you instantly. Usually, that's pretty good. But people have figured out path issues, or they figured out how to use cheat clients that will basically give them a pathway to go around and basically not get hit by those mesh detection systems. And if I have the video on screen, I'll play it. If not, I don't know. But yeah, I've been working with C-Rain for a couple of these major issues, and there are some insane ones. In fact, he just showed me one yesterday. If that video goes out, official servers will probably be done. I'm gonna be honest, because that basically he figured out how to be in admin mode on official, and there's full proof. I saw the videos. It's not fun. It's going to destroy ARK pretty much as we know it. I mean, his videos have already been showing the truth about what's going on, but oh my god, he just finds more and more and more. Which brings us to another issue, is that ARK won't listen. They will not listen to us no matter what we say. I've made so many warning videos, so many videos talking about the major issues, and I purposely have been putting out things about how to do the bugs, how to use these bugs, on purpose so that ARK is seeing them. ARK fixed one of them, which was the treasure chest on the back of a car, I believe. That was a bad issue. But for the most part, they're not fixing the other things. They just don't care. They're only fixing a couple of them to make them look like they're fixing stuff, but they're not. Simple as that. Well, another issue is raiding and trying to build up and survive, and that is the issue with mega tribes. So if you don't know how ARK's system is built, on PvP at least, there's usually always one big mega tribe or a series of allies that are all huge tribes, and they build up on a couple servers and they dominate. This is not a bad thing. I think it's actually kind of a decent thing. It allows to build a community, a massive one. But the issue with this is that we don't have server wipes, meaning they can just build bigger and bigger to the point where they're dominating every single map. And the issue with this is it doesn't allow a new player to come in and build up. They just get offline raid, or they just get, killed instantly, and they know exactly where their bases are. Or the bigger thing that people aren't really covering is the fact that they're not even letting you spawn in. They have turrets on spawn zones. They have giant walls that they're building around, which we've seen this with other videos. Like we had one major ARK YouTuber that posted a video about it that went super viral. And that is the fact that you just can't spawn in and even attempt to build up. To a brand new player, it's just demoralizing. They don't want to do this. They would rather just go play a different game. So if you're watching this and you are a new player, I would not recommend playing PvP, even unofficial. I wouldn't recommend it. It's such a toxic environment with the constant issues, the players, because most of these people on ARK have been here since day one, on Evolve 10 years ago. So it's just demoralizing trying to figure out how to build up next to these people, even for people like me. I don't play PvP that much, but when I have, we still get raided instantly. It's a serious problem because you just have these just straight up tryhard players that are on ARK 24/7 and they just want to dominate, and it's just a problem. It's a bad issue that I don't know how to fix. But I mean, that was about it for what I wanted to cover. There's a couple other things, but it's just the fact that PvP is dying, which is really bad because PvP plays a major role in ARK. PvE is much bigger, I will not lie about that. Probably 60% of players are playing PvE right now. But the 40% of people on PvP used to be more like 70% of people, because PvE wasn't that big at launch. A lot of people wanted to play PvP because it's a dinosaur game. Why wouldn't you want to go fight other people? That's cool. But today, it is shifting tremendously to the point where a lot of people are just moving on. And I mean, I kind of understand why. I mean, I'm also starting to move on because I'm realizing it's not worth it. The last thing I want to cover is just the grind. The grind of ARK, especially for like official servers or something, it is so incredibly just time consuming that these players have to play 12-hour days to even build up anywhere, especially on official. They have to live 12 to 13 hours a day just to survive. And even then, you're probably gonna get raided. So you're gonna build up for a couple hundred hours just to get raided and lose everything just like that. And I feel like that is why everybody is starting to shift over. So yeah, those were my big issues I just felt I kind of wanted to cover. I think it's kind of important that the community knows and ARK knows. I don't think they're going to watch this. They may watch this, but I don't think anything's going to be done about this issue. It's a series of issues. It's not just one big issue. But yeah, ARK, I would recommend putting out more official servers that are wiping more constantly. Like we have ARK POC, those are decent, I won't lie. But you need more. You need the main official network to wipe more often. Because I don't think it's wiped since release on ASA. I really don't think it has. But who knows. So yeah, anyways, I appreciate you guys watching. Kind of a sad video to make just to show, what's going on with ARK today. But yeah. Alright, well, anyways, thanks for watching.